Hello and welcome to my ITSL game versus Serhei Isaenka, who I will be facing in the as the USSR. And what we have here is a very weak hand with Distal as the consolation prize. And not much else going on for it. I guess there is not much to be done about Europe or Asia. I think I will try to just get rid of the inconvenient scorings, lower the Defcon and then Distal. As I don't see any way of pushing forward that would be realistic and didn't require huge rolls. Okay, all scorings will be gone. I will give one coup a shot. Yeah, it went as well as it could have. Asia is the only unscored region, so I fully expect him to just grab Pakistan and enter Malaysia now, or do something of that sort. Which would mean that I will have to drop Asia immediately after. Which is, well, sad but expected. Okay, he's playing it really safe, he doesn't have Indo-Pakistani war, he doesn't want me to coup Pakistan. Which is actually very much fine for me. That kind of gives me a little wiggle room here. That means I can chill with the Asia scoring and start with getting ahead in the space. I will also gladly take Comecon from him, as additional Distal fuel is always welcome. Alright, blockade. No more fuel, but that's fine. On one hand, this means he doesn't have any inconvenient red 3-ops, because, well, he discarded Warsaw instead. On the other hand, he's wasting a perfectly playable card for blockade, which is also fine. Vietnam revolts were playable too. This is some weird actions. These are some weird actions. It also, I mean, this is a detail, so I don't want to... I'm not certain of it, but it kind of looks like he has NATO, because he didn't play Warsaw Pact. I think he would, if he didn't have NATO instead of Comecon. Well, okay. I'm not getting to Thailand unless I get decall. I may try to get to it with Distal though. I think it's time for the CAA. Let's get over it. Norad probably a hold. It's an annoying card, but it can be played as an emergency 3-op, or it can be spaced even under purge, or I could hold it until after the shuffle, if the game allows me to, so it's not a terrible choice of a hold card. Really? Okay, so he's helping me lower the DEFCON. Apparently he wants to enter Malaysia on his next move. So, but I can still take Thailand if he does that. So maybe that's not it. I'm not sure what to make of this coup. And I'm not sure why he chose North Korea instead of Iraq. Regardless, I will answer with a coup in Panama. Rolling very reasonably, very consistently. So now obviously if he has a 5-year plan, he's eventing it. Hopefully he doesn't, but... So I expect him to enter Malaysia and Colombia now, which would force me to give either one up. If he has a free op, he could enter Angola, Colombia and Malaysia. That would be a pretty good play in my opinion. I think he's playing way too defensively. He's giving me way too many options. I don't approve of it. So many good targets. I don't think I want to. I'm not spending 2 for Thailand. Maybe I'm giving up on Thailand anyway. Actually, that's fine. I think. It's a weird thing to say as a Twilight Struggle player, but there is so much space for me on the map and so little pressure on me that I can just let him have Thailand if he wants it and try to get to as many places as possible. Since he's still not in Colombia, so I think I can pressure France. If he responds with entering France, I can take Algeria, take Venezuela in case he entered Colombia on his last AR. If he wants to try realignments, he's free to, but he's risking a lot there. Okay, Nasser is nice, good information for me. Yeah. Let's take Venezuela. And let's enter France. Let's see what he has. I don't think he has NATO, however, I think it's more probable that he just made a mistake by playing Comecon instead of Warsaw. He actually had in the Pakistani war. I'm surprised by it. I didn't see this one coming. Okay, that's a very weird hand. I'm not necessarily thrilled to see it, however, those 2 playable 4-ups make up for a lot. Lack of a good headline is surely a problem. Not seeing Purge is another, and not seeing Decal is a third one. I think I will have to go for the Korean War, as much as I hate it. I may have considered Truman had I not been present in France, but since I am, I'm not going to give it up so easily. And let's see. Yeah, fucking unfortunate. Yeah, to be expected. My rolls as terrible as usually. I will go to France, I think. Or I could just give up on France and protect other things. The problem is that, well, I don't need Milops, but he does. And he cannot really force a coup from me. So... Well, but coughing Panama is likely unsuccessful. I would need to actually roll well, and that's not gonna happen most likely. I do that and he coups Venezuela, and then he surely gets 2 VPs from Millops. And if he's successful, he basically flips 2 countries in South America. That's a 4 country swing. So to avoid this, I would have to like take France, enter Brazil, but then he just flips Angola and he almost surely succeeds. I think the correct play here is to give up on France. And since I need Millops, ops, I think I will start with Formosa and coup of Panama. Oh, apparently this time it was worth it to use any higher card than that, but I wasn't counting on it. I was not assuming that I can roll higher than 1 or 2. 5-year plan. Not entering France still. So I can choose between France and Panama. Well, this is a relatively safe choice of France, I think. I will still try to race for Panama. Although it's probably not gonna be a successful pursuit. There are too many playable free ops for him. Containment, duck and cover Marshall. Kind of Suez Crisis and Sotsgovs too. So, yeah, he has containment. Good for him. Okay, I would love to get rid of Truman now. I would like to overprotect France at some point, but I can start with taking Algeria, I guess. Maybe let's be done with it already. Alright. Now he still has a chance to realign me if he wants to. This is probably the last one he gets after I have stabilized in Europe, so I will spread if he doesn't do anything. Okay, he lets me spread, so I absolutely will. Okay. I will space 2 in this case. Okay, he's trying to squeeze as many VPs from Asia as possible, that's reasonable. My low rolls are getting me something nice from the space track. It's also pretty dangerous for the USSR player, but for now it's not an issue, so hopefully it remains this way. I'm feeling kind of safe due to the CAA being gone, so hopefully nothing silly happens. He got the UN and Sotsgovs, okay. Okay, so he hopes he can draw Middle East scoring. I got Decal, I got Fidel, I got Defectors, and Europe is not bad either. Okay, I like it. I really do. He got De Gaulle's and Suez and Romanian, which is actually not bad for him because those events mainly affect France, but it's I definitely got the better half of the cards. Decal is the obvious headline here, I think. There is not much to be said about it. Since I redrew Defectors, there's Nothing to be scared of. This is a joke. This is a fucking disgrace. Yikes. Yeah, sure, bro, why not? Thailand, I guess. Okay, so I'm spacing tag, I guess. No good card to coup with, by the way. Not a single decent card to coup with. I could coup with deck and cover. I could coup Lebanon with deck and cover. It's not a good play, but... So I'm surely not going with Marshall, not yet at least. And I'm not going with Nuclear Test Ban. I need a playable 3-op at least, so yeah. And I lose VPs if I coup with anything else. Sure, I guess it's deck and cover coup of Lebanon. Let's go. It's not a not a good place to be in, but I guess so. That's what you do when you get purged twice in the early war, I suppose. If the rest of his hand is less impressive, then maybe I could... Well, I don't think it's very realistic that I get a domination in Europe, to be honest. But I could try poking some holes here and there. And if he responds with force, then I can play Marshall Plan almost for free. So I can just start with putting a single influence in Turkey with defectors and then set up a domination with nuclear test ban. Well, if he retakes Canada... Yeah, if he retakes Canada and equalizes that way, I can just play Marshall for influence. And that's actually perfectly fine. Also, he has Romanian, which is a tricky card. And he doesn't know I have Europe. And he doesn't know I have nuclear test ban. Although, after I use nuclear test ban to take Greece and Turkey, it will be pretty apparent what is going on. Which doesn't change the fact that at least 2 cards from his hand are Romanian Abdication and Suez Crisis. Which surely doesn't help. Okay, 5-year plan, good redraw. Okay, that's actually perfectly fine. I will not fight for Europe anymore. I got what I wanted, which is his involvement in the region. I will secure my position in South America in this case. Drop Europe soon, play Marshall for ops, and event Fidel, probably. That's fine. Alright, he's trying to play around Fidel with another of his 4-ups. I don't think I can do much about it. Do I need Turkey? Probably not. So he can probably just have his Marshall Plan at this point. Do I want to event Fidel? Maybe I event Fidel anyway on my last AR. Surely I will start with Marshall Plan though, so let's do this. I feel the need to overprotect North Korea, as it's the only thing stopping him from controlling the region. Perhaps I should overprotect Angola too, however Chile needs my attention as well. With the amount of purges suffered so far, I just don't have enough ops, despite it drawing some high numbers, to fill all the gaps. Yeah, I think I just go for Chile here. Okay, I don't believe he has the Middle East scoring. I highly doubt it. He still has Mexico to take. He may have some disruptive AR7 play. I will event Fidel. If he wants to spend his last AR trying to realign Cuba, so be it. I'm fine with it. Hopefully he fails. If I draw Chev, then I can very successfully fight for it later anyway. If I don't draw Chev, then I can still try doing something there by just queuing Nicaragua casually. Okay, he didn't even try it. Okay, a good roll. Nice. Okay. And I'm not getting purged again, which is great. As it is also usually the case, if I can't get purged, that means I'm drawing no ups whatsoever. Arms Race and Quag are okay, I guess. However, the best card is definitely Junta. A lot of annoying blue cards here, which I need to deal with somehow. But I guess I will find a way. Maybe I play the China card here. Maybe that's my solution. It allows me to play Nixon for 2 VPs for him, which is not desirable, but it's okay. And it allows me to fight for Central, and drawing Junta plus Central is a great combination. Nuclear subs are quite annoying, so I don't know about that, but Panama Canal is manageable. Since the factors are gone, I guess I will just start with Junta here. ABM, nice. He probably rolls for like Brazil or Argentina, no? Okay, he rolled very poorly. That's incredibly valuable for me. How the hell do I deal with this now? Alright, I think I have to go for Mexico. And I should... I think I want to play Ops, not coup. So I think I should coup Panama here. Damn it. So close to greatness. One more would have been huge. Two more would have been huge too. But okay, three is enough to break it, so I guess I could completely, not suspiciously, ignore South America for a while and temporarily get control of Central. Not necessarily temporarily as well. He needs a lot of force or a lot of luck, or some time and a little bit of both of those to break me there. If he... and he has no time, because I have Central, so if he coups Haiti now, that's fine, I just drop the scoring. So he needs to figure something out. He could start realignments, but I don't think that's good on average. Okay, really? He does. Okay, please fail. God damn it. You're probably Venezuela now. Can you fail that at least? Okay, he didn't go for Venezuela, interestingly. Since Mexico is gone, that's okay. I will just drop Central. Well, it wasn't really like a crazy luck for him. It was reasonable to expect him to be able to at least break Mexico with something like this. It's still okay for me. It cost him a free VP card and I still got a domination. Okay, that's a very slow play. I will now repair South and get a domination in Africa. Technically, Quagmire instead of Arms Race would have been a better card to play because of the Missile Envy, but I don't think that matters a lot. Quagmire is technically a card that I may want to event. However, I also don't think that will be the case. The fact that he failed a coup is not bad, but it's somewhat annoying, ironically, because now my bluff with having Africa scoring is kind of dead. That's okay though. Now I can overprotect Angola and set up realignments of South Africa, maybe? The other option is to go Iraq plus Egypt. Maybe that's actually better, because I don't really have a very desirable coup target for the next turn, so I think I could use Quack to gain equilibrium in the Middle East. And I think that's fine. If this forces him to take Saudi Arabia, that's okay for me. If it forces him to take Israel, that's also okay for me, so not gonna complain. I would really like to avoid going to space this turn. Interesting. Okay, let's break the UK so I can get free special relationship if he doesn't fix it. If he wants to take Saudi now, he kind of has to allow that, which is kind of nice. He fixes that immediately, ignores the Middle Eastern threat. That's okay. And now I can get rid of Nixon and get my Millops too. Unfortunately, I rolled the same number as he did in Sudan a second ago. Both blue China related cards are already gone almost instantly in the mid-war. Which means that the China card will sooner or later come back to me, most likely. Most likely sooner than later. Yeah, this is to be expected. I think I can just give him special. I don't want to give him Panama Canal right now. It gives him access to Brazil. This is annoying. Unless I do something like this and then coup Colombia with Panama Canal and hold both of those. That's actually... Well, okay, you know what? That's actually not bad. I think I like it. I like it. This is not bad. This is kind of playing on the edge there, because if I roll 1 or 2, then technically he can still break Venezuela, especially if that's like 2, if that's 1. But if I don't roll a 1, this is not terrible. Okay, that's 5, that's nice. He will be looking at my headline, which is annoying, but on the other hand, defectors are gone, so I'm still not gonna take the bait. I'm not gonna go to space. With voice and grain cells unaccounted for, I'm not gonna put myself in that situation if that's not necessary, and it's absolutely not. That's annoying, but so... America is still under my control. Okay, this is not a perfect hand by any means, but it has a good scoring, it has a good event, and even 2 good events, I would say, with Brezhnev and OPEC. I don't want to play into Brush or something, I will just go for Brezhnev. Brezhnev looks like a very solid pick for this hand. It buffs a lot of cards, it is really hard to counter. I guess the worst thing that could happen now is Missile Envy, but Missile Envy is really bad for me if I headline South America too, so that doesn't matter much. Okay, that's fine. I will just take this opportunity to cool Libya, and it's hugely important actually, so I will use a 4-up for it, and fail. But at least this forces a response. Libya is very important because it flips Middle East, it grants me access to this country in case of Sadat, and it counts for OPEC VPs, so really powerful, really good value from Libya. Of course, the ugly duckling of the hand is Lone Gunman, but you can't have everything, I suppose. This is really weird, I don't understand this. What are you going for here? I dislike this play. Even if he, like, no, I just don't get it, I guess. I will just take this. Unless he has a plan. Maybe he plans on brushing Zaire? I don't know what he has. This looks like Africa, but it's really hard for me to say. Okay, he has Southeast Asia? Weird play. Okay, so now the VP track is reset. However, 2 remaining scorings look at least decent for me, so not gonna complain. Okay, he goes for Africa some more. This is absolutely okay. I can't give up the Pope, so I will. Warsaw Pact is still on the discard, so I'm not that worried about the fate of Europe, especially with me having France. I just don't care about the Pope here. I think I would rather use UN intervention for colonials, which are way more scary of a card right now. Really interesting. Doesn't look like a bad play too. I don't buy this. I don't think he will realign Panama. I think he has Africa and he's trying to bait me. I can break this though. I can play this game. Or actually, I can also set up my own threat, right? Even if he could Zimbabwe. Well, okay, this is not necessarily a threat. But okay, now if he could... Okay, what if I do something more like this? Like, even if he could Zimbabwe now, I still dominate Africa. Okay, sure. This is a risky play. This kind of... If he doesn't have Africa, he can just realign Panama here. So that is kind of a risky play from me, but I like it. It makes it really hard for him to ever equalize Africa without taking over a battleground. Which may happen, especially if I give him nuclear subs. But then again, I can just quit back next turn assuming he doesn't headline grain sales. So it's... well... yeah, as I said, it's a risky play. I think it's really strong if he really has Africa. And I think it's really hard to justify the takeover of Angola if he doesn't have Africa. So I'm not saying I will assume he does have it, but I will decide to play around the scenario in which he does have it. Alright, so he had brush. Okay, thank God he didn't roll that one. That was a very important roll. And as I said earlier, I'm still not a fan of spacing. So I will use nuclear subs to break with Germany? Question mark? I will use nuclear subs to take Saudi? So I dominate the Middle East even after Sadat? Yeah, that sounds about right. I think generating a threat when giving up nuclear subs is generally a good thing to do. But I don't think that breaking with Germany in this case is such a big threat that he really has to respond to it. I think he just goes anyway. And I don't think I don't want to assume that I will have the power necessary to take over the whole Germany, so I will just give up the coup, cry about Zaire, and take Saudi for my Middle Eastern scoring coming up this turn, hopefully, please, pretty please. Thank you. Alright, this is not a tragic hand. A bit on the weaker side yet again when it comes to ops, but good scoring and a great event kind of justify calling this hand mediocre instead of bad. Also, this hand is really vulnerable to missile envy if I don't headline Muslim, but after I do, it's actually fine. I can give up Cuban Missile Crisis without any issue. Okay, I'm really interested to see what he takes. My free ops are, of course, the most important thing for him to not take. Independent threats are okay. It's a worse target for me than puppets or our men in Tehran. Actually, it's not that obvious. Ooh. Wow, he tried to do this. That's so interesting. Okay, so a lot of tension on the map now. So Lebanon is hanging, Iran is hanging, and the DEFCON is free. So I could still coup Angola now. If I coup Angola, he takes Iran and Lebanon. And then I take like... I get domination back though, so I get 2 back, but... So that's like 2 VPs down. Okay, that's not worth it. That's absolutely not worth it. So the correct play, I think, is coupping Angola with Armenia Tehran here. Okay. I think, yeah. I would prefer to coup it with a bigger card, but first of all, I can't do it with containment, and doing it with Cuban would kind of make me vulnerable to missile envy. But most importantly, if I don't use our man in Tehran now, he will get the event later, unless I space it, which I don't wanna do. And there still could be Africa scoring in the discard, so I don't want to be reckless with it. Okay, NORAD is gone for now. Now, the question is, do I realign Zaire? Zaire is overprotected 3 times, but I have a remarkably huge buff to my realignments. And I think that's correct, right? I still need to protect Angola. And weirdly enough, in this situation, the best way to protect Angola is to probably just take over Zaire. Also, Zaire is just worth at least 2 points if I take it from him. I think this is the best way to go. Sure, let's use my free up this way. Be gone. He's not gone. Okay, he's gone. Be gone from here too. Okay, that's good enough. I will take it. I will take it. So this was a tiny bit above average. If he wants to take Angola over, he can use China. Okay, alliance. Okay, he does that. This is absolutely fine. I will just take Zaire and Syria here. Yeah, Panama was kind of forgotten there. But the map is way too tense for this. I'm afraid. I don't think there is a good time to play around Panama right at this moment of the game. Alright, he's failing the space roll, that's appreciated. Well, I guess I will hold puppets. And since I'm playing Summit now... Oh, I'm not holding anything actually. Is it good to just give up puppets now then? Why? Oh yeah, because grain sales, of course. Yeah, sure, then I think I can give up puppets here. I think the fact that I have all those silly one stability non-battlegrounds in Africa kind of makes it pointless for him to... I mean, there is not much he can do in Africa. I guess the best he can do is get access to Uruguay and, I don't know, take one stability countries in Central, like Dominican Republic, Colombia, El Salvador. Wait, is this Dominican Republic? Oh my god, I don't know. I feel so stupid right now. Okay, it's Dominican Republic, okay. Thank god. Okay, Uruguay, Taiwan, and Guatemala. Yeah, that's absolutely reasonable. I will overprotect Argentina shortly. Or actually, I will even do it now and overprotect Angola instantly. There's not much else I need to do on the map, so let's just do this. Event, so probably Africa is gone. Alongside Portuguese Empire crumbles. That's reasonable. Nicaragua or Colombia. I think Colombia is better. Because if I coup him out of Colombia, then he needs to take Panama now. And then he doesn't threaten South America this turn, which is good. There isn't much. There aren't many bad cards he could have gotten from this. I believe he got something strong, because basically only good cards were left. Except for like 3 red 2-ops. And maybe Che, that's a great card, but would be annoying for him. And since I don't want him to really mess with me now on his last AR, I think I will break something, but what would that be? The problem is that he can have voice. Okay, but he probably didn't redraw voice, right? He may have. He left one card in hand, that may be voice. If that's voice, then probably breaking West Germany is the most reliable way to mess with his plans. Sure. Actually. But yet again, the Willy Brandt card is still around. Okay, let's go for Angola. If he has voice, then so be it. At least he will perhaps use 2 of those 4 influence in Panama to repair the damage. Taking half of his voice away, I think, is okay-ish. Okay. That's less scary than voice. Okay, that's a remarkable hand without a single 3-up. Not even a bad one. Damn. Okay, how bad is it realistically? It has a lot of 2-ups for the bear trap, although he has salt and bear trap. But thankfully, we're already past the reshuffle, so he cannot pick up Perch from the discard pile, because that would be actually game over. Okay, so he got way better cards than me. What happens? Missile Envy is not very good since Flower Power. Arab Israeli War is not terrible. Decal is whatever. Willy Brandt is not bad. South African Unrest is fine too. Maybe I can do something in Africa with those events. I think I want to play in the Pakistani war. Probably. Our man in Tehran is suboptimal, but whatever. Oh, and he sees my headline. If he sees Arab Israeli war, oh no, okay, so that triggers after that. So there is actually not much I can do, I think. So What's his headline? Are either Bertrab or Sadat, depending on what he wants to do. Sure, let's go in the Pakistani war then. If he got purged, then it's over. I'm sorry. Well, maybe it's not over, but I'm skipping a turn. That would be completely insane. Okay, he starts with Bear Trap. Damn it. I swear I'm gonna commit crimes if he has purge. And like, okay, no, okay, like there is no way he starts with Bear Trap if he has purge, right? So. But this is, oh my god. Annoying. Okay. Annoying. At least I'm out, but... it's still fucking bad. I guess Zaire is gone. Goodbye. Okay, he immediately uses flower power. So like I get either chairs or salt? Unless he redrew, we'll bury you, but... What's the chance? 2 in 44, let's say. That's like 1 in 22. That's less than 5%. Do I want to risk it? It's a good value if I win, but... I'm in a good spot. I really don't want to do anything silly. Let's just cool... Or let's start with venting that. That puts some pressure on him immediately, so... Kind of has to respond to this, or I just start pouring ops into West Germany. And the 1 VP at this stage of the game is always a big deal. Well, maybe that's a lesson for me. Maybe I should have headlined Decal, because I was at least really. Oh my fucking god. Okay, you know what? I will take it. I deserve this. This should have happened for me, and it did. It should have happened to me. I knew he had Bertrab in hand. I should have headlined Decal and secured Zaire, and all this happened because of disgustingly bad luck. Me failing a roll, him rolling a 6, blah blah blah. I should have played around this. That's my mistake. If I lost because of it, I had it coming. My bad. I got greedy, as I always do within the Pakistani war, and I didn't roll well enough, and... I don't know, it didn't even like... There's no need to hurry. Burma was probably not a destination he would take either way, and even if I won India thanks to it, it would still not give me domination. It's just... I think it was just a bad play by me. RIP. And like... For this to backfire, he had to headline the bear trap, I had to fail the roll, and he had to succeed in Angola, and then he needed to redraw Africa scoring, for which there was like, yeah, as I said, less than 5%. So that was some 1% territory, but... But there was no reason to not play around it, really. Especially because I'm always eventing decal. Yeah, that's just how it is when he has better ops than me. I think I will still try to pour ops into Angola. I will fight for Africa sooner or later, if this game goes to the final scoring, so... Especially with decal in hand, I think this is kind of a reasonable thing to do either way. Okay, Cambridge, kind of whatever. And let's take African states. So he still has Che and Sadat in hand. I expect him to event Sadat now. I would really like to event Missile Envy, but I'm really scared of that one card he's holding, so I will still ignore it. Because that may just be We Will Bury You. Now he's eventing Sadat almost for sure. That was also the reason he took Israel. Because he has Sadat, he wants to event now to equalize the Middle East. That's kind of obvious. Okay, this is another remarkably poor hand. This is wow, it's outstanding. The only good card here is One Small Step, honestly. And the fact that he failed a lot of space rolls kind of makes this worthwhile. Star Wars is playable then, so I can kind of dodge the problem it would create to be to have Star Wars unspaceable by playing Star Wars after One Small Step. And if he defects that, then I can just space Star Wars instead. The worst card here to see would be Purge, I think. If I get Purged again with this hand, it's pretty tragic. Yeah, he's mad because he failed like 3 space rolls for Lunar Orbit, which is admittedly a bad luck on his side, I agree with that. His rolls in space were completely unimpressive. Shuttle changes the fate of the Middle East. That's very bad. Okay, and that's a scary headline. Which forces me to respond. And I think I have to use the Iron Lady. Let's just do it. There's no other way. There is no way around it, I don't think. If it doesn't look like I'm gonna use it for Argentina takeover anytime soon, so I can just as well get rid of it now. If he has socialist governments, then he may use them. That's fine. Alright, some huge cards. Damn it. I expect him to coup Colombia in the upcoming future. I think before that happens, I will... Or does it matter? Does it even matter? Like, if I take Paraguay, like, if he coups Colombia successfully and I fail to retake it with my own coup, he just realigns Venezuela either way before dropping a potential South America scoring. So having a non-battleground doesn't matter that much, so I will try to go to space myself. I will fail it, which, well, I guess it's kind of fair because he failed before me in the space rolls. I expect him to just coup Colombia. Of course, theoretically, I'm now vulnerable to breaking of Colombia with a 4-up like the China card, Venezuela with a China card. But for that, he would have to know that my hand is as shitty as it is. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Let's get rid of Star Wars in case anything silly happened. There was no way for me to stop arms race anyway, so there was no need to try. Okay, so I guess South America is a draw now. And the map starts looking really grim. The hand he got is fucking insane compared to mine. It's incredible. Going Colombia doesn't look really promising either, so I will just hope that he gets really unlucky with the realignments and then... Okay, good sign. Good sign. Maybe it works actually. Whoa! Really? I didn't think it would be that good. Well... I will take that. Rob Israeli is in the discard, so Camp David doesn't matter much. Sure, let's try this. Even if I failed now, it makes my next roll for Colombia a little bit easier. Oh, thank God for this Venezuela failure. At least that worked, so... without it, I would have been... in a really bad spot. I rolled 5 3 times there, I think. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, he will not be queuing this turn anymore, that makes sense. Now I get to take Poland back from Solidarity's hands. And put another point into South Africa, in case I don't draw war games. Which would of course be the ideal way to end this game. Okay. Consistently fails on the space track, I like that. This is actually an okay hand. I have special and NATO, so I get to time those properly. Quagmire is a good headline. Grain sales, okay, please don't take NATO. That's like second best thing, alongside Cuban. Maybe he forgets it's inactive. I think he didn't forget, guys. If I had another good headline, I could have waited with Quagmire for NORAD to be played earlier, but there was no alternative for Quag anyway, so I'm not headlining Cuban Missile Crisis only to be clever about NORAD. I will take South Africa now. And I suppose I will take that. I will let him respond. That's a good setup for Reformer later. If he takes UK and Canada to respond to that, then I can break Canada, UK and West Germany. So that makes that card significantly more powerful than it is now. I will be forced to give up OAS, which sucks. Oh. Alright, that makes sense. Now independent threats are harmless and I will retake Poland immediately. Now Chernobyl doesn't look that absurd. I mean, in a sense that playing around Chernobyl doesn't look that absurd. Now Chernobyl starts being a dangerous card, especially if he gets to pair it up with tear down this wall, which would be really unfortunate. So I will immediately overprotect Poland in case that ever happens. I think I will give up NORAD probably because I have to give up OAS, so I kind of need a card to respond to NORAD. Oh, I actually forgot about my own Millops. That's very bad. Sure, take away as then. If he double breaks Cuba with it, then I'm afraid I will just have to put one back into Cuba. Man. I'm pretty sure I played poorly this turn. Maybe, I don't know, maybe playing special like that wasn't the play. Maybe I should have let him put something into France and just take it. I tried to be too clever, probably. Because now I'm going with a NORAD on... That's surely not the way the game is supposed to be played. And I kind of need to respond to that, so I will play 2 VPs. Oh man, this game is slipping out of my hands and that's not how I wanted it to look. I'm still technically in the war games range, but it looks increasingly grim. Especially because I don't see war games. So technically he could have them in hand and... Ah, aims, great. That's disgustingly unlucky. And no war games. Nice. At least the rest of the cards are okay. ABM is fine. Pershing is okay. Reformer is good. Reformer is especially good if he has Chernobyl or Teardown as a headline. Liberation is also fine. I really like this hand. Okay, maybe we can work with it. Middle East is weird, but I may be able to get something out of it. So what's the plan? Well, Queen Angola to threaten Zaire, probably, right? Unless I want to go for Iran. Problem with Iran is that first of all it's harder to coup, second of all it's kind of a waste in case he has Iranian hostage crisis. So that's something to take into consideration. Kitchen. Well, I cannot influence it more than this, so let's just accept that fact. Oh, that was enough? Okay, thank God. Oh, that's good, that's good, that's good. Iran Control is such a good event, but... I probably shouldn't event it. It's Angola. Okay, that's enough. Now he may want to coup Cameroon. Which is okay for me, I think. Man, this map is such a mess. I really hope he does have Europe. If he has Europe, this turn is way easier. Yeah, because now I can do that, and that's really, really annoying for him, I have to imagine. And that's a VP for me. Alright, now let's push a little bit here. I think now, if he doesn't respond, which probably he can't, I will try to realign Zaire now. Probably with Reagan and UN intervention. That looks the most reasonable. Oh, do I get it or? That's so interesting. So he probably doesn't have anything to discard, and he probably doesn't have his own free op either, right? Except for China, of course. Because he didn't renew central domination. That's good. Let's realign Zaire. Nice. Let's just go Colombia. Or Brazil maybe. So, since he didn't discard a free up, that's the worst case scenario. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have Iran Contra, so I will go Iran now. Okay, that's terrible. Okay, so this may just decide the game, what happened right fucking now. This is so sad. I'm still not sure who wins, but now it looks dark. Unless he has some obligations, but... He has the China card. Man. Of all the fucking scorings, he got Asia. Maybe he does have Europe too, though. Let's see. He takes Iran back, of course, and what? And that. Okay. Yeah, fucking right. Break, in case there are problems for him. Maybe not that doesn't make much sense. Take that and break here. Sure, I don't know his hand. He may have some obligations left, I'm not sure what that would be. Surely it could be Europe, at least. Or it could be Central as well. So maybe he has to choose between taking another non-battleground in South America or repairing Iran or something like that. So I think I will break Iran as well. The other option was to go to like Dominican Republic and try to equalize Central temporarily, but that also doesn't really work because he can just retake El Salvador, so he can respond to that with a 1-up play anyway, and technically it costs me 1-up less, but I still don't have a really good thing to do with that op. Like, overprotecting Nigeria is basically worthless. So I guess that's the best I can do. Okay, he just has a playable free up, he uses it to ruin my day, I guess. Cool. Hey, I think he wins now. That's -1, -4, -12. Yeah, he wins. Unreal. Well, good job to him, I guess. I don't know if I played this poorly. I think I surely made at least one mistake with that in the Pakistani war headline, but the whole scenario with bear trap into Angola coup into Africa, that was like 1% fucking territory, that was crazy. I think his hands were on average way better than mine, that's for sure. I think his rolls were probably better too, however it's... yeah, right. It's kind of hard to judge, because there were some like really weird things happening, like him failing 3 times on the space track was significant, and his realigns in Venezuela were a disaster. I got the D-style technically, but the fact that I got purged twice in the early game was so unreasonable, and his hands were busted. Well, maybe not that good, but they were at least good. I don't think he had like a really bad hand this game. No, he didn't. He just didn't. He just didn't have any problems. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, because I think it was an interesting game at least. And I will see you next time.